All right. Welcome back to another episode of DOS, Dubbed or Sub Dose Podcast. My name is Kamarri.
Lucas.
And this week we're actually going to be going over what I would consider a pretty old anime, actually.
About as old as Eden of the East.
Yeah.
At least in 09 in Japan.
Yeah. So this episode, we're not week episodic.
Weekly episodes.
We come out with 2 this week. We came out with none last, I think we came out with 1. I don't know. Anyways.
There's not one on YouTube as of recording this point, but there is one on Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts, Breaker.
Apple Podcasts.
What's iTunes?
Oh, that's what iTunes is?
iTunes, Apple Podcasts, they're all integrated. It's free! If you want to listen to the audio one while you're driving or something like that, you absolutely can. You don't have to stick around on YouTube, but
I gotta sneeze.
Pineapple.
Ah! Okay. So this week we're going over Afro Samurai.
Found on Hulu for the time being.
Yeah.
It's not on Netflix, I looked it up.
Sadly, no.
Yeah,
and we're going to try to keep a lot of these...
English.
A lot of what we will be watching is going to be strictly on Hulu and Netflix. So that way you guys don't have to get anything extra. At some point we will be going towards Crunchyroll. And then at some point after that we will be going towards Funimation, because Funimation does have a lot of animes that are really that I would like to get into, because Funimation
do
does
live... You can do weekly episodes with live episodes, or not live episodes, but
Yeah. Well, I think... Yeah.
Don't worry about that right now. Today we're worrying about... Did you say the title?
Yeah, Afro Samurai.
Afro Samurai.
But no, so Jovaun is the one that actually told me that I should check this one out. And I think it wasn't even that he told me I should check it out. He said, I'm ashamed of you until you finish this anime, don't speak to me. And I watched it in one night. Actually, the same night that I finished Eden of the East. Or, that we finished Eden of the East. And
in all fairness, it's 5 episodes long. Episodes are about 25 minutes each.
Yeah, exactly.
I watched it today.
It's very short, very to the point.
It is. That's a very
It's not
great
hiding
way to put
much. Except for one thing. Honestly, I think it did hide. What you think you would get with Afro Samurai is what you get. So...
It's pretty... Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with it.
Starts off on a pretty...
And yo!
What a way to start out.
So you start off Afro Samurai. This is one of my favorite things. You start off Afro Samurai with him surrounded by 40 dudes with crossbows and guns and everything.
Is that how it starts? Or is that after his dad?
Oh, okay, you're right.
It starts out.
So it actually starts where people should have started paying attention with...
Yeah, it's a pretty critical point in the entire show. If you miss this point, you don't understand the rest of it.
You understand it.
You'll understand it, but watch the first 5 seconds of the show, please.
Okay, so the way that it actually starts out is in this world that they live in. It's in the future because there's flip phones and smartphones.
But it's also feudal Japan.
But yeah, it's old Japan. They're fighting with guns and swords and knives.
Feudalistic.
And shit. So it starts off, in this world, there is a number 1 samurai and a number 2. The number 2 is the only person that can challenge the number 1, but anybody can challenge the number 2 to get the headband, which is essentially the important part. When you have the headband, you can become whoever. So this dude who had guns, which doesn't, that's Sierra asking the question, that doesn't really make him a samurai. So this isn't even to be the number 1 samurai.
No, but the thing that you see at the end of the show makes him a samurai.
Yeah. Okay. So
We'll get there.
He fights the dad.
Spoilers.
Oh yeah, spoilers always every episode. I should have started.
Spoiler alert.
In red, but not in red because we don't have video editing. Legitimate video editing. We would be able to put a...
I'll sure as hell try.
Okay. So, maybe in red.
If I didn't succeed. And if I did succeed, you just got a double warning.
So Afro's dad, and you only know him as Afro. I'm pretty sure the entire...
Yeah, no, he's just
anime.
Afro.
Yeah. His dad is the number 1. His dad has had the headband for an undefined amount of time, and there is the person.
Time is very not explained at all in this fucking show.
But you have the number 2 who ends up challenging Afro's dad for the headband. Afro's dad's like, you know what? Hold on, son. Give me a second. I'm gonna fight this dude. And he's like, he sets his son aside and has a fight in front of his son. There were bullets going around places. Like, the son could have gotten capped real easy. All I'm gonna say. It breaks down to at the end of the first fight. The dad gets decapitated. I'm pretty sure by the dude's spurs on his, like, boots. Because he didn't have...
Are you sure about that?
No.
Did you watch the last episode? Because it explains what happened in the last episode when he's fighting Afro.
Really?
Yes.
I'm going to have you explain that because I missed that.
Okay.
Anyways, so basically...
I caught it, and I was like, understood. Got it.
First five minutes, Afro's dad dies.
It's not even that long, honestly.
Yeah, it's a.
They're not gonna give a quarter of the episode to that scene.
Yeah, the first episode. Yeah.
No,
it was a dope fight though, which is one of the really good parts about this anime. The fights were really clean. They were really fast, so there were parts like with keeping up with him and what was going on was a little bit much.
But everything had to be fast to fit everything in 5 episodes.
Exactly. Well, I'm not even saying like I'm saying like the actual fights themselves were like I was having trouble keeping up with a few of them.
A lot of them you're watching and just like, what?
But yeah, so first fight, dad dies. Afro ends up, next scene, is surrounded by like 30 dudes.
A lot of guys.
30 dudes, okay? The one head dude is like, hey man, we just want the headband. We don't really even want to rough you up. Like, just drop the headband, put your sword away, and we'll let you walk away. And Afro's like, basically, fuck off. I'm keeping the headband.
Except with less words.
With no words.
No words.
I think he lit a cigarette, and that was him saying, fight me, bitch.
Like, no, that wasn't a cigarette.
Okay, he lit a wrapper in feudal Japan.
He smoked. We'll just say that.
So, Afro smoking, he's messing these dudes up, and there's one scene, like it was like at the beginning of the fight, where a dude shoots him with what looks like essentially a blunderbuss. Because if he would have cut like a regular bullet, it wouldn't have did as much damage. But dude shoots at Afro, and he cuts whatever projectile was coming at him, and it splinters and shatters and goes behind him, and literally it turned this like one bullet into like a minigun round and pelts like 5 dudes behind him, and he just goes ham. Like he goes molly wop.
You're like, all right, I'm in it. Yeah. All right.
It was fucking like it was. Yeah. I think the first fight was one of the longer ones, and it was such a good investment, a good thing to start off the show, and then the story came in after that. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead. I'm gonna get some drink. Go ahead with that one.
So, Afro, his dad just got murdered in front of him. He takes this number 2 headband because he's the only other one there. So he's a child. I don't know, 4 or 5. He looks 40 through the entire show, so I really don't know how old he is ever.
Hey, yo, black don't crack, bro. Yo, black don't crack. Afro's like 702. I promise you, man. Yo.
Jesus.
Did I break you?
No, I kind of forgot what happened. He gets the headband.
Yeah, he gets the headband.
That's what I got.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the story then.
No.
Go
I
ahead.
remember. So he's got this headband, and people find him, and they're like, "Hey, we want that headband." Mm-hmm. And they pretty much attempt to murder.
I don't think it was attempted murder. I think it was not caring if they murdered or not. And just
it was definitely not caring. Yeah, but they definitely threw him into some spikes. That's for sure.
Yeah. So a group gets Afro.
A little girl and a boy find him and their master, and then it's like a school academy
for orphans. Yeah.
Yeah, samurai school, sword school.
Yeah.
It's a sword master.
Ronin Kenshi?
Yes.
Fuck, I couldn't say words. Never mind.
It says the name. They say it.
Well, no, that's not the name. Ronin Kenshi it's another anime where this dude has a reverse bladed sword.
Oh, all right.
It's super fucking dope. Super fucking dope.
Yeah. So they're
taking
Afro. I'm the worst at explaining animes, even though I just watched this.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead with the explanation since Lucas forgot what the fuck he just watched. So he takes the headband, gets jumped as a kid, and is like, man, I'm determined to get this headband back. I'm determined to be number 1. I'm determined to kill the person that killed my dad.
I don't even think he's determined to be number 1. He just wants revenge. He just wants to murder the dude that killed his dad.
They're on the
He
same
doesn't.
boat.
You know, he doesn't give a shit about being number one. He just wants the number two band so he can kill the dude that killed his dad.
Same boat. But you're right. He is more focused on the vengeance.
He doesn't give a shit about the power thing, about being a god. He just wants to kill the dude.
So he spends years of his life with this group, with this essentially this orphanage. And the orphanage, the person who leads the orphanage is a samurai, and he goes around, he's training his kids, like, the disciplinary parts of what's going on. As it proceeds, Afro becomes more of a killer. There are parts where there's a couple of scenes like, and we're explaining it in order of what happened in his life and not what happens in the show. So if you're listening, you're like, oh, that didn't happen in the show. It's more like
We're speaking chronologically rather than episodically.
Yeah, because if you do episodically, the way that it goes is each show shows his backstory and his act, like what's going on. So it'd be really weird to try to bounce back and forth. It's easy to just do it this way. So he spends time with his group, and then as he's spending time with them, he ends up like hearing more about the headbands. There's guys that are coming to like where he is, like this town, city, whatever you want to call it, that he's living in, asking about the headband. So he becomes more intrigued and starts killing fools. And then
just killing. He's a child still.
He's like
he hasn't grown like at all.
He's still his head is still disproportional to his body.
Yeah,
and he is murking fools.
Like attempting to cut off their heads. He
just couldn't make it through. Like
he never learned
if he had the power, yeah. Anyways, but yeah, so he is going through and like
trying to figure out where he can find the dude with the number 2.
Yep, and he's essentially learning like the crafts of being a samurai. While this is happening, we're gonna jump a couple of years because other stuff isn't really too important. He ends up.
Well, what are you jumping to? I guess
the big fight.
Oh no! There is a point where, as a child, he's murdering a dude. And,
there are several points where he's murdering a dude.
Well, it's when the little girl saw him behead the dude.
Oh, where it was with all the kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the dude, he asks the dude, and he says, he's already been killed. Someone else has the headband. You'll never find it. Mm-hmm. And then it jumps jumps ahead a few years.
Yeah, so it jumps ahead a few years. It ends up to where, like, this entire time as he's becoming an adolescent, a teen, the dude who is raising him is like, hey, don't do this. You'll just be going down a life of vengeance. You don't want this. This is going to cause more blood in your life. It won't solve anything, trying to dissuade him from going after this headband. And there is a moment where I'm just going to call him his foster dad.
His master.
Yeah, his master. Yeah, let's go with his master. He ends up going and killing the number 2 and taking the headband. Brings it back to the orphanage, and his plan was to never show it to Afro, never let him find out that he has it. Afro finds out because of people spilling their guts and spilling their tongues, all of the stupid non-samurai way type stuff. So his master's like, yo, if you want this...
There's a graduation ceremony first, where they're like getting their actual blades and stuff.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, Afro speaks up and goes, like, Master, do you have the number 2 headband?
Mm-hmm. Straight up.
And then,
straight up asks him. He's like, yo.
And no, he's like, I'll be at the tree at this time.
So yeah, so
that's the end of the scene there, basically.
Yeah, that's like legit the point of it is like, I'm just gonna be at this tree. And Afro goes, and it's super interesting because what I thought was gonna happen, I thought it was just gonna be like a fight. And not even a fight. I thought that master was going to say, if you want this headband, you have to kill me. You're going to have to kill the person who has picked you up, raised you, whatever, and have it be like super symbolic. But instead, it was
It's more like, this is the life that you're picking.
Exactly, man. So, at the tree, we're just going to call it the tree because that's where they met.
That's the only thing it's a cliff and a tree.
There is a horde of people basically saying, yo, we want this number 2 headband.
Yeah.
The master's like, he literally looks at Afro and says, hey, this is the life that you're getting into if you come for this headband. No matter what, you'll never be able to escape this.
All of the students are also, or all the other students are also there. Jiro, Sasuke, Otsuro? Was Otsuro there?
Yeah, Pineapples, bro.
The girl?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was there. She definitely was there because that's when she got slashed. Got that scar on her back.
Yep.
But yeah, so...
Because that's not brought up again. We'll get there.
So there's this super big fight, and the whole thing is super symbolic of this is what you're getting into. This is like just a flashing and showing Afro what his his life is going to be if he keeps going for this headband. And Afro says, you know what? I'm going to keep going for the headband.
And so Master charges the group of people.
Yep.
Starts taking hits, which makes the Jiro?
Students.
Jiro is the main dude, the other main
dude.
student. Yeah, teddy bear dude. Fuck. Which I'm now convinced is where they got the teddy bear for Fortnite. Yes.
Yeah.
But pink. And so they see him get hurt, and he's like, no, and starts charging into the people, and Master's like, don't do this, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. And then they like, you know what? We don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Everyone started swinging. Is Afro the one that stabbed Sasuke in the back?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either.
I don't think Afro...
But Jiro blamed him for it.
Yeah, Jiro blamed him because of the headband.
Yes.
Jiro blamed Afro for everything that happened because of the headband. I don't think Afro... I would have to watch that again. I don't think Afro stabbed him.
I don't think it was Afro. I honestly thought it was the Master.
Oh, shit. That'd been rough.
Yeah. But there's that entire fight.
But,
yeah.
So, whole fight, long story short, Afro ends up with a headband. Atsuki... Whatever, what was her name?
Atsura? Atsuro
gets a cut in her back, and she's just one of the girls that's in the class, orphanage, that comes up later.
I think she's like the youngest daughter, because she doesn't seem to age very much as Afro's aging.
She was the same exact... So she was 2 when they find him, and she is maybe 2 and 2 months when he leaves.
That's what it seems like. That's 100%. Honestly what it seems like.
So, black don't crack. Anyways, he gets the headband. Jiro's
the main son.
Yeah, so Jiro ends up he gets cut.
He's like fucked.
Yeah, he is
at this point.
Messed, and is like hanging off of a cliff. Afro is trying to save him, and he decides to let go instead of.
He's like, nah,
off.
Fuck you.
I'd rather die.
Yeah.
So this is.
He tumbles.
Does.
Hit the water.
And you think that he's dead, but you know that he's not, because at this point in the anime, you know that he's alive.
Do you at that point?
Yeah. Because when you're watching the final,
because you see him fall off the cliff in Duel, which is episode 3, I believe.
But he's already...
No, Duel is episode 4.
He's already fighting him in episode 4, though.
Yeah. I thought you saw that before.
Mm-mm.
Alright, well.
I 100% remember, because that whole backstory was when he was fighting Jiro, because it was like, hey, this is the final, like, shebang. Essentially, it was
this
the
is explaining.
finale.
Yeah, you're right.
So, this is Afro's backstory. This is what you need to know. The essence of he was an orphanage, he watched his dad die, and he...
killed his master.
Yeah. He chose the life of vengeance over a life of support and family. The closest thing that he would be able to get to a family. And then we wake up and we come back to Afro fighting the 40 dudes, and he has the number 2 headband. So the current time of Afro Samurai is just him literally making a blood path to get to the number 1.
Not caring at all who he kills, just moving forward. Yeah.
He fought the 34 dudes, however many they were. That's episode 1. Episode 2, he fights the dude from Western China that has the crossbow with the poisons on it, that also has a fucking grenade launcher. Yo, some of the weapons...
That was a different dude. Different dude.
The dude with the crossbow?
Yep, different dude. Same dude with the crossbow walked... Nope. Because Afro and his imaginary friend were walking, and I don't know what his name is. The imaginary one was like, hey, there's a dude following us. I was like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And that was the dude with the crossbow who was shooting him. He took one to the side and didn't notice it. He killed him. And then after that fight, they realized he's poisoned. He falls. And then the dude up at the top of the cliff is like, now I can take him. And he jumps down and then pulls a RPG out of his backpack.
Yes.
Is that a motherfucking RPG?
Yeah, that's a motherfucking RPG. I'm saying the grenade launcher.
There's a grenade launcher?
The crossbow had a grenade launcher on it. I swear.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the rocket propelled
No, I know what an RPG is. I know what a Rapuga is. No, the crossbow had an RPG on it. Because
An RPG or a grenade launcher?
Sorry, now you got me on.
Because now they seem like the same fucking thing.
No, he had a crossbow that had an underbarrel with a grenade launcher because it was essentially a Gatling gun, and then he shot the grenade, and the other dude was like, "Is that a grenade launcher?" Which made "Is that an RPG?" even funnier for me. So he fights a dude who has
Not a fucking RPG.
a Gatling gun or crossbow with a grenade launcher on it. Kills him, gets hit in the side, like Lucas said, he gets poisoned, and then there's like a cult that's essentially following him that wants the number 2 headband. Yeah, it's
like 7.
The 7 brothers is what they're called.
Like 7 empty something or something.
Oh,
I wish I could Google it, but
yeah, there's
Hi.
a phone. But no, so yeah, there's a cult that's essentially following him that wants the headband, and they have like altered like robotic people that are with them.
They're like, if you ever watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they're like the clay people that they fight. You never watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers?
I did. I was...
All the little gray people that just hit them in the chest and they'd die.
Everything they hit, they would explode and die. That show was full of explosions and morphing.
I mean, they didn't explode, but it was just like...
They would... Okay, people would
in
get
the
hit
comments,
with... People would get
let me know... You know what I'm talking about. Back me up on this, please.
People would get hit with swords and there'd be explosions.
Back me up on this.
But I do it.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the minions.
The little things.
They're made out of clay, and I cannot think of what they're called, because it's some stupid play on the word clay, but go on. He forms a bunch of these little guys, the cult does. They're like, now's the time to take the headband, and he's in like a little fucking sex orgy. No, not a sex orgy.
There's a concubine.
There's a concubine, yes.
There's one concubine.
That is trying to get at him while he's explaining all of this. And then he's just
pastor.
like, let us pray.
Yo, dude, there's a pastor who's giving his whole speech and there's just this concubine right
licking
here.
Licking his
just,
face?
Yo,
like,
licking...
I'm not going to describe the scene. I would just watch it. Enjoy it.
Jesus Christ. So yeah, so he gets hit with the crossbow poison. The dude with the RPG, the backpack RPG, shoots the RPG at him, explodes the entire cliff, and then he falls into the river, wakes up, and now he is naked, wrapped up with a
lady.
pretty friend.
Who's like, yeah, I knew you were a samurai, because who else would be clutching their sword unconscious after being tossed off a cliff in the river with a broken hand?
Yeah. Basically.
Yeah, that's like almost verbatim.
It was like this for this and this and
with
this,
the broken hand.
Broken hand, samurai.
Yes.
But no, so
1 + 2 = 3, Kamarri.
1 + 1 = 3 if you do it wrong. And they did. So Afro stays at this place for, I think it was maybe like a day or two.
I think it was like a couple days, yeah.
So he stays at this place for a couple of days, and the girl is trying to convince him to stay there.
Like, giving him medicine, and, you know.
And the entire time, this is where, in the show, the flashbacks start.
Yep.
Which is pretty interesting.
It's kind of explained why.
Yeah, so when he is here, he starts having flashbacks of him when he's younger. And then it, like, the same, next episode, essentially. Same section next episode because of the way that they cut it up. Mm-hmm. She is explaining how she doesn't want him to leave.
So, like, there was... she made food, and he... I'm
just trying not to say too much.
What's that?
I'm just trying not to say too much.
He's basically like, I'm leaving, and she's like, well, can you stay just for one more night? There's something I want to see. Mm-hmm. And that's essentially that.
No, that was not...
No, I'm saying that's that scene.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's that scene.
There's so much more.
That scene, he's like, whatever. And I'm pretty sure either I fell asleep for 2 seconds because I was watching this at like 3 a.m, or just the next scene they're banging. Like
there's like
they're just banging.
There's like,
bro.
will you stay? He stays. Fuck.
No, it was. I feel like fuck isn't in
It's not
indicative
doing
enough
injustice.
of what was going on. There was
Back
scratching. There was
more scars on her back than there were before.
Oh, yo, so you like the girl.
Next scene, after sex.
No, the banging scene. The banging scene. You see the scar that goes from her shoulder to her hip, super long, and you're like, oh, that's a dope scar. All right, cool, whatever. Next scene, it cuts from banging to her smashing a chip.
She takes the SD card out of her phone and smashes her phone. The
SD card has been absorbing his memories.
Yeah, so she's been absorbing his memories, which is why he was having these flashbacks.
Jesus Christ, right 23 minutes.
Jesus, it's a good anime. That's why he's having these flashbacks, and he's basically it pans up to her, pans up, and there's Afro, and she turns around and is like, "I'm so sorry, I stopped it. I don't want to do this anymore."
I regret it. You caught me. No, I'm exposed. Whatever.
And then she goes, "Because you're still the same little boy or young boy that you were all those years ago."
And at this moment, you have not seen it.
Seen.
You hadn't seen her scar.
Oh,
you didn't see her scar. Chronologically, he probably didn't see her scar either because she had never turned around. But
he saw that scar.
You're right. So you don't know who this is.
But then he's like, blah blah. I don't even remember what he said. But the end of the sentence, he says her name, and it's Atsura.
Oh yeah,
or Atsuro, and you're like, hey, that's that girl.
And then she gets stabbed.
Yeah, through the roof, and then pulled up.
Yeah, okay. So, full explaining.
Yeah.
This is essentially...
I think that's enough.
Yeah. After that point, the anime for me, it goes into think of a Zelda speedrun against boss fights to get to the final boss. Essentially, it is Mario 64, where you're doing Princess Peach Castle frozen door lock tricks to go underground to get to the end of the game. Legitimately. He's fighting so many people in the last 3 episodes. He's fighting a robot. He's fighting in the air.
A robot him.
Yeah, a robot Afro. Literally. A robot himself, because they were stealing the memories from him to make a robot him.
Yeah.
So they do just a whole speed run to get to the end of him fighting Jiro, which is the dude, from his, younger, his past.
Because plot twist, he survived.
And then got
Not
cyborg
much of a plot twist.
They
sold that bitch back together, dude.
They turned him into a mix between One for All and Darth Vader.
And Dobby. He's got fucking skin folds and stitches, Bro, but he's also got, a robot head.
What was that?
A robot head. And then they put him in another robot head, which is just a teddy bear head, which was a model of the teddy bear that his little sister had when they fucking got slaughtered.
So, whole long story short, a lot of the explaining is done in episodes 1
through 5.
Well, it's essentially 3 and 4 for me. At 3 and 4, you find out Afro's past. 1 and 2 are a lot of fighting. 5 is a lot of fighting. At the end, you get to he finds the number 1, and the number, they don't even fight at first, but there's a whole speech that number 1 has that is interesting for me. I think this is one of the best parts there's 2 parts that I really appreciate about this anime. One is the, explanation between the number 1 and 2 that shows the cycle of vengeance and blood and death, with the headbands. And 2, I'm going to talk about after we talk about this. His whole speech was dope.
Oh, yeah! I was like, I love this speech, but from you?
It's one of those things of somebody wanting to be a god and doing what he needed to do to become it and not being apologetic. He was a really good villain for me because he didn't, it wasn't anything rude to the dad. He killed Afro's dad in front of him and was like, yo, man, I'm sorry you had to be here for this.
It said that. It was sucks I had to see that scene in a little bit.
Yeah, and then
he was like, come back.
Because he knew that Afro was going to come back for the headband. He's going to come back to be number 1. He's going to come back for the vengeance. He's going to come back for whatever it may be. So the whole speech is going to be very shot short if I try to give it. I would say watch it.
I'm not even going to try and come close to it.
I would say watch it because it's very indicative of what I think the message that the show is trying to get across.
I don't even really want to talk about the ending of the show. I think people should just watch it because there's really like 5 minutes left of the episode of the show.
Yeah.
At that point.
Anyway, I'm gonna get on to the two things. So one,
what's your number 2?
One, the entire time that I'm watching this show, and we, as you guys know and can see, me and Lucas come from very different backgrounds. I couldn't help but think of the continuous cycle of blood and violence and hate that goes in communities in Southern California. And it's not as something as simple as like being number one or being the number one samurai, whatever it may be, but it's the vengeance. Oh, you killed my so-and-so, now I'm going to get that back, get that even. And I think the message that what Afro Samurai in its condensity is trying to show is this is two different ways that you can go. You can go for vengeance and blood and death and war because it showed a moment of like vulnerability with him. Or you can say, like his master was trying to say, don't do it. Like, accept that you can have a different life. Accept that you don't have to follow this path. Accept that you don't have to be what everybody is saying that you should be, what everybody's saying you should do. Just live for you, live for what you have. So I thought that was a
He was like, we're meant to survive, not kill.
Yeah. Like, and he was teaching the kids, like, the samurai ways to survive and to be able to, like, fend for themselves. He's teaching them how to fish. He's teaching them how to cook. He's teaching them how to, like, to
garden.
build. Yeah, everything. So the person that was watching him, that became his, to me, what I would have considered his dad, is teaching him all these life skills while he is stuck on the one fall, not the one, the main, the biggest fallback of his life. And I think you can get so fixated on things and moments in your life that ruin everything else because his whole life was trash. He saw his friends and family die, saw his childhood friend die in front of him again, had to fight another one. It was just what they said in the very beginning of the show was true. So, yeah, I think that the whole message of it. I don't know if I got something wrong. I don't know if I'm looking way into this, but that was fucking awesome for me. 2. Samuel L. Jackson plays the main character and the sub-main character. And oh my.
And I mean, he says maybe like 12 words as the main character, but
so
his imaginary friend.
Think of it as yin and yang. There's Afro, who is the concealed, consolidated main, like, I'm a samurai. And then there's Afro sub, who is wacky as all hell, all right? And he is
like complete opposites.
Yeah.
Like white hair.
White hair, he doesn't fight. He is kind of all over the place. He has this like swing and this like this way that he talks. And it was really funny to me because it took me until like episode 3, I think, before they did the reveal to think like, oh, he's not real. He can't be real.
I knew when he was like in his dream state
At
Atsuro's house.
Place? Yeah.
Because she's like, well, I'm going to let you get some sleep, and she like, or get some rest, and she dips, and then immediately he comes like down. Yep. And I knew right there, I was like, is he real?
Yeah. But the way that they do it is so cool because Afro doesn't say much, and it's a lot like
most of it is just shut up.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
He's talking to the dude, and they show what Afro is thinking through a different means because he is a indicative, silent, brooding type of person. And this show would have been really boring if they didn't have the...
Oh, yeah, I don't know how they would have done it. Because that character plays such a large role in the last episode. Mm-hmm. And in Afro's character development as a whole. As much character development as there can be in 5 episodes.
I loved it, dude. I loved it. But yeah, man. So I think there was 2 really good things. I like the message, and I like the way that they portrayed the main character. It was the opposite of we're gonna have this main character who's awesome and talks and has this personality. It's gonna be the opposite of we have these supporting characters because in 5 episodes you can't make you can possibly, but you can't really make a great supporting character cast to have this character develop. So it's one of those where you like somebody and then you say, oh damn, this 30 points of awesomeness gets compiled on top of these other 30 points of awesomeness. So they're the same person. So all this awesomeness is just awesome. Like, Oh, it was, man.
It's great. It's short, like 2.5 hours you'll get through it. Like 2 hours you'll get through it.
Yeah.
Watch it. Let us know what you think of it in the comments.
Yeah, less than 2 hours.
Yeah.
Almost 2 hours. Yeah. Watch it. And with everything else, watch it. Let us know what you think. I am going to, I think I did mine last time, so Lucas, what would you grade it?
I wish it was longer, but I also think
There
with
is a
how
second
short
season.
it was, there is?
Yes.
Oh.
Resurrection, which we do.
Isn't it just a movie? Mm-mm. Oh. Well, from what I saw, it was very short, but they did such a great job at condensing everything into 5 episodes that I didn't feel like I missed any information that was given or portrayed in it. Mm-hmm. Everything was pretty straightforward to you. There wasn't anything, like, conveyed. And even if there was, it was just said outright later.
Yeah.
Man. Man. 7.5.
7.5. Ooh,
7.5.
All right. I liked it. When you watch this anime, do me a favor and think of it as a movie and not 7 or 5 different shows. Mm-hmm. Don't watch an episode every other day and
watch it in one sitting.
Literally sit down. Because there are a lot of animes. Me and Sierra have watched BNA, have watched Rascal, have watched something else.
What's the entire name of that, Kamarri?
Rascal Doesn't Dream About Bunny Girl Senpai, something else in Japanese.
Thank you.
Yeah. We've watched these other animes, and usually what we'll do is we'll sit down and watch 3 episodes at a time, because 3 episodes for a 12-episode arc, 13-episode arc, are good absorption amount of times. But with this one, 5 episodes, if you sit down and watch it all the way through, it adds on to the fact of that immersion and not needing to break away and come back. I feel like if you watch this anime in sessions, it won't be compelling enough and you won't be interested enough to really want to come back. If that makes sense? But if you just don't get up, it's great. I would give it 8.5.
Damn.
Because of that, the art style, I loved it. I
loved how little they used color.
Right? Except for when they needed it.
There's color on his sword.
Yep.
On Home Dude's on his sub's glasses. Mm-hmm. Lemonade.
Fireworks. Which
fireworks, man? Mm-hmm. I don't know if you heard me from the room, but I went, oh no! Now that's sad!
But yeah, so the art style of this whole anime is amazing, man. It is beautiful. It is a beautifully dark anime. So that gives it points for me.
You can, and when I just realized something. I just put 2 things together. There's a moment where all the color fades. Mm-hmm. As he's growing up, there's color, but as soon as he gets the headband, it's just like black and white.
All of his flashbacks have the color. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bump that up to an 8. That's a fucking 8 for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So 8.5, man. The art style is amazing. It is a beautiful anime.
And the soundtrack
is
music
bangs.
by the fucking RZA.
Bangs. Is it still an 8 or is it going up to
8.5?
Let's go. So art style, the story's super nice. I can relate to it.
It's very digestible.
Yeah, it's a message that I would like to teach. It's a message that I would teach my nieces and my nephews if anything ever, and I would hate for this to happen, but if anything did ever happen, this is the message of if you succumb to hate, your life will be surrounded by hate. If you succumb to overcoming and bringing around love and joy and bringing that into your life will be changed. It's a message that I liked, and and I liked the fact of the way they worked with the main character, and that they had him not being they were able to do a good samurai like Jin type character from Samurai Champloo, but also having a good character to support that took nothing away from him. Like, the more that the Afros, like the second Afro was talking, there was never a point where you're like, oh dude, like, I don't like what's going on, or it clashed because they were the same person. And I think when they did their big reveal, it's like, oh, that is natural. That makes sense because of what's been going on. So, I don't know, man. I'd give it an 8.5. I will probably watch it again, and every time I watch it, it'll probably go up a couple points. But, yeah. I think that's going to be that.
Let us know what you think of the show.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think of our show.
Yeah.
Leave us some feedback in the comments, please.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you get notifications.
Oh, you doing the outros. I had something else I was going to say.
Oh, you guys can go for it.
No,
I'm just kind of getting all the plugs in as we go.
No, so just so you guys know, we just finished the All Might Pop giveaway. The comments have been closed for a couple of days now. We are tallying up the votes.
Oh, I was wondering if you had a winner ready to go.
No.
I was like, are we doing this right now?
No. I'm gonna tally up the votes, and we'll get that to you guys around the 9th is I think when
the 19th is when it ships now.
19th is when it ships. I was the 7th actually because I wanted to do it 2 days before we were supposed to be getting it, but I'm still gonna keep it with the 7th. It's the end of the first week, whatever. We have all of the votes in, so we're going to be doing on that. We are working on deciding on other things to do for you guys. So, gift cards, maybe. I was thinking about gift cards, loot boxes, other pops, plushes, anything along the lines. I would be down to do a subscription for somebody. Like, if you don't have, like Hulu, to be able to watch certain things, I would be...
That'd be dope.
Yeah, or like
a Crunchyroll card.
Exactly, do a Crunchyroll card to where you can like do a month of anime and just be like, hey, this is for you guys supporting us, and this is everything that we're doing right now. We can't really do too big, but these are the things that I would like to get back to you guys. So go ahead and leave those in the comments or message us or do whatever you may. Everybody listening should be able to get in contact with any of us. Green Uke, Instagram, Sin_prototypes, Facebook's Kamarri Watson.
Facebook, don't put my name on there.
I was gonna say Facebook Kamarri Watson.
Don't add me on Facebook.
Let us know.
I won't accept you if I don't know you.
Let us know whatever you would like or what you would be interesting to do as a giveaway. So that way everybody has a little bit of a give and take, and we're doing for you what you guys would not doing for you what you guys would be doing for us, but doing for you for helping us.
And if you'd like any merch in the future, let us know some ideas.
Yeah, but that was the gist of it. I just want to make sure that I got that got that up for you guys.
Thank you everyone that did comment and like and subscribe and share with all of their friends. We really do appreciate it. We can't do what we do without the support from you. So
it's a lot, man. And just not even like subscribe, just the support of everybody being here. Like, we love you guys. We're doing this for you because
it's like you're on a couch across from us.
Yeah, in the room, in the gaming chairs.
It's really hot in here. I would not stay in here too long.
No, we gotta open that up. Anyways, thank you for joining us. Thank you for being there. Watch Afro Samurai, Hulu, or Crunchyroll most likely. Anything else?
Let us know if there's any animes that you want us to watch. We'll try and add them to the list if they're not already on there.
Cowboy Bebop.
Is it Cowboy Bebop next?
Cowboy Bebop.
Are you sure?
No. Cowboy Bebop.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's definitely an episode that's coming.
Watch A Silent Voice on Netflix, and that's the next one.
And that is only sub, so prepare.
Yeah. You say that's a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. It's a really great show. But we'll see you guys next time. Thank you.